let's roll. So you're welcome once again to another exciting episode of virtual consulting with Joe Riddell Consulting. So today we're going to be discussing virtual consulting, things that you need to know before diving in, and then how to get into the market, the things that you can do regarding virtual marketing, virtual trainings, and for those that that see it as an opportunity to expand their business, this is what we're going to be doing. So today we're going to be also having my partner. His name is Mr. Emeka Emmanuel. He's going to be talking about he's going to be giving us insights in writing stories. He's a poet, he's an entrepreneur, and how to maximize your efficiency in terms of public speaking, especially when, how to start your words, things to put in. You must make sure that whatever you're selling or that you're putting to the virtual space connotes certain degree of value. Now let's understand that value or gold in your pocket has no relevance unless you bring it to a point or that it can be exchanged for kind or cash. So that's what we're going to be dealing with today. And if you're ready, so you can get a piece of paper and also get ready. So earlier today we discussed on things around marketing, virtual marketing, and the things that you can use in pushing your products and making your products live. So things around advertisement, e-advertisement, obviously. So if you had handbooks in the past, this is a good time to convert them into electronic copies and make sure that your handbooks are available to the public or to the people that would need your services. So you can also advertise on TV. There are so many internet TV stations. You can advertise on radio. So you have an app or you have a site. It would be cool if your local radio station has a grasp of it and is able to run an ad for your services. So if you have web banners, if you have adverts, this is a cool time to also prepare them and push online. You have a good phone, you have internet, and you have social media. It's a good time to do that. We also talk about printing, so your business cards that used to be in paper or in card or in physical qualities before now can be converted into an electronic business card. So your business card, your brochures, your product sheets, your presentations, this is a cool time to work on them, keep it short and simple. It's an acronym called KISS. That way people will be able to listen, they'll be able to understand what you want to do. They'll be able to receive the value that you are giving out. And before long, it will cause a ripple effect. So those are little things that you can add. Now the third is that we spoke about is online marketing. So websites, blogs, webinars, social media, all are classified under online marketing. So what are the contents you push when you do a webinar? What are the contents you push when you want to talk to your phone? You want to do a 1-minute video, you want to do a 30-second video. What's your target market? Are you looking at existing customers? Are you looking at providers? Are you looking at new customers? You should think about online marketing as a useful tool that you can work on for your social media. Now, the fourth is direct marketing. Direct marketing, usually we refer to that as one-on-one. You have a product, you have a service. It's cool if you can call somebody, so all those contacts that you have, that you presently have on your phone, that you presently have as your social capital, call them one after the other and pitch. It will do your business some good. So you can also do some customer visits. You can visit them online. So if you visit them online, it will really make a whole lot of sense. And then the fifth is publications. When you have publications that rally around, it could be in book form, it could be in a magazine, it could be in a report. Get all that into electronic copies and push them out. And then the last but not least is promotion. What are you promoting? How are you promoting it? And then what are your first 12 sentences? What are your first 12 words? You want to start up a page. What are your first 12? Now, in your personal grooming, what's on your first 12, upper first 12 inches? What's in your lower first 12? People see you first before they get to hear you. So you need to work on all that. And so those are the 6 major things that we discussed around the marketing fan earlier today, about 2 hours ago. And we feel that that will be of value to those of us that have good ideas or that are thinking about running and tweaking some cover letters and tweaking some expressions of interest. In these times of retrenchment or retirements or recession, it's good that you understand how to put value on your intellectual property, or put value in yourself and modify yourself for the days ahead. You have different things. You have different things that you have that are of value. If you don't push them, if you don't activate them in such a manner that people get to understand and can follow and can run with whatever you're saying, it may not really make some sense. So those are the things that we're going to be talking about on the enterprise model. This is another enterprise model that we're reeling out. There are other E's, which includes emergency response, where we're talking about life support. We're talking about CPR, AED trainings, and which we've done for a couple of international bodies, UN, GIZ, UNODC, around the world. So these are things that people should get to know. You get to know little things that can save a life, and then the proper ways of addressing certain things, how to address choking, how to address and deal with fainting, how to address and deal with common emergencies, bleeding, nosebleeds, a lot of things like that. So we also will be talking on entrepreneurship and talking on employability. So those of us that are looking towards applying for your next job, before you apply for your next job, there are certain things that you need to do. You need to tweak and work on remodeling your CV or your resume and your cover letters. Where do you search? Are you thinking about migrating? Are you thinking about moving? I know a lot of people are thinking about moving. So we'll be pushing out because right now the other people that we have in our faculty that will be talking on migration and relocation and things like that. Once we get a go ahead, I'll get a date, we'll make it open. But I'll also want to say beforehand that that is going to be a paid training platform as against the freebies that we're currently giving for now. So once that's out, I'm going to let everybody know about it, and then we're going to forge ahead. So right now I'm going to pause for now and invite Mr. Emeka to speak to us He's a poet. He's a virtual assistant. So for those of you that have offices that you need a lot of help regarding documentation, regarding transcription services, regarding translation services, regarding assistance in your documentation services, regarding, you want your results done and sent to you, and you want the results appearing on your phones just like that, I think it's some good guide to consider that you can ask for help. Obviously, you're going to ask for the help, and at the end, I know, or I hope that you also put some little value on the help that you're going to, so that as you're getting value, you're also adding value to his time that he's going to use in getting you the results. So over to you, Mr. Emeka.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Joby. I'm very delighted to be with you this evening from here in Africa. Welcome, everyone. Nice to have you all tonight from this end. So, like Dr. Joby has said, I'm a poet, and currently I'm a virtual assistant. Also, I'm a virtual receptionist. Now, I'm going to define what a virtual assistant and also what a virtual receptionist, does or is. As a virtual assistant, my work primarily is to get things done for people who are very busy, who have tight schedules and in their workplaces, and they need someone to do it remotely from wherever the person is all over the world. And so one can get engaged through some platforms like LinkedIn to get opportunities like this, to be able to be selected when one applies. So basically, as a poet, to be able to manage, could be to be a poet and be a virtual assistant, because it has to go in hand. For me, it does go in hand. It requires, some basic training, with computer, you having knowledge about computer, use Microsoft Office and some email platforms and some other softwares that relates to, you doing effective communication for your client. And also, as a writer, that is me being a poet, I've got to know the nitty-gritties of being eloquent, so that when I'm being interviewed, it could be on Skype, on Zoom, to get a job opportunity as a virtual assistant, they see that I passed that test. So it requires you to be very eloquent. The opportunities are abound in the cyberspace. So nothing much. It's just you getting to Google some things about you being a virtual assistant or a virtual receptionist. You get to know what is required. You be in your house with your system, your phone, and voila, you are out there. You are connected to a client that may require your service at any point in time. So that's all I have for now. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Eloquence is important, so the assignments I'm going to give to us is to understand that, look, your first 12 words, your initial words, the things that you start with when you're talking or when you want to engage someone matters a lot. If you say you want to, even from introducing yourself, starting with, yeah, my name is John, and you stop there, it's a no-no for the average businessman. Because once you say your name is John and you stop there, I will see that as well. Fine. Yeah, your name is John. So what about John? There are a couple of questions that you are saying or that you're answering that is maybe or that could be negative to what you're trying to pass across to me. But once you have a chance to meet someone, that should be a golden ticket for you to pitch or for you to bring out your elevator pitch. So it's a different thing whereby I'm popping out and saying, hey, my name is John. They usually call me John the Baker. I do a lot of cakes, wedding cakes, fluffy cakes, chocolate cakes. I do a lot of event cakes, and I have pictures I can show you if you go to my site. And most of the recommendation or referrals I've gotten had this to say, that they broke a plate when eating John's cake. So once you hearing about that already would leave an impression, would create a perception that this guy does good cakes. This guy bakes so well that you will break a plate. So in as much as I just concocted that right now, so just imagine where I actually bake and had taken time to craft out an elevator pitch that's, once you wake me up from the bed, I would just, I would reel out everything, you should create that about yourself. You should be bold to talk. Nothing will happen. Heavens won't fall. The ground will not open. Usually when you're be in the last dispensation, because right now, whether you like it or yes, we are in a new dispensation. In the last dispensation, you have a lot of people, many people just get into their shell, comfortable, relying on other people to talk about their gold. That is changed totally right now. You are the primary person to talk about what you do and how you do it, and the best way and how it adds value to the person you're talking to. Once it doesn't add value to me and you're talking to me, then there's nothing that's going to push me or make me want to engage you or patronize you. So let's put that in mind, that in our dealings, your initial 12 words, what are they? My name is John. That's 4. Mm-hmm. And so let's put this into perspective. People get to see you first, and then they get to listen to you. Yeah. After seeing you and having that feeling that, hey, this person is safe, this person is responsible, this person is a businessman, this person seems to know what he or she wants to talk about. So what is it that you want to talk about? How do you start it? You need to look at the person in the eye. The way I'm looking at you, it shows you need to be confident. You need to be bold. You need to be, and once you can sell that perception that you know what you are doing, what you're an authority in what you're professing, in what you are telling the person to engage you in, then every other thing will just be a rider on your initial statement. Yeah. So what are the foundation, what is the foundation that you're building on? What are your foundation words? So another thing that another hurdle that many people have is, who do I reach out to? When you have an idea and the idea is not solving any problem, then you may have difficulty getting a market. Okay, so let me give an example. There was a time I was driving through some streets in Africa, and I came across some sales person that was selling something that was plastic in nature. It was in the shape of a hand, and I had a long rod, but it was plastic. And the guy kept saying, it's called back scratcher. I smiled. He now took it, what he wanted to sell to me, or maybe a sample of what he wanted to sell to me, and put it inside his clothing and was using it to scratch his back. So in as much as that was a good product, the question I had in mind was what benefit is a back scratcher going to give me? How am I going to benefit from having? So that means once I buy it, the next thing is I'll loosen up and start using it to scratch my back. Why should I scratch my back? Why should I scratch my back if it's not itching? If my personal hygiene is intact, if I'm having, if I don't have anything bothering me, I don't have any skin disease or allergies or whatever, why should I need to take a physical that looks like hand, and use it to scratch my back? At the in the final analysis, I'll end up causing injury to myself, the risk of damage to my skin, the risk of damage to, because it's risky out. And then I'll end up getting more problems than I had, or that's if I ever needed it in the first place. So I just smiled and looked at it that, well, hey, this is a good product in quotes, gone bad, or no market, or very little market. You also need to tailor, your idea in such a way that when you're pitching it, it addresses a need of that environment. Now let me give a story of a personal example that happened to me, at a time whereby I wanted to start up something like Uber or Taxify in Ghana and Nigeria, but I noticed that in Nigeria, because I want to start it first in Nigeria, the perception that they had about ambulances was more for hearses than for emergency response. So there was a day I went to an estate I got a call, got an order to come and bring a defibrillator because somebody was having a heart attack. And by the time we got to the estate, a lady came out. In Nigeria, there's certain countries are very religious. So one lady came out and started, praying like, I bind you, I cast you, I reject you. It's not my portion. Because I came with an ambulance. Mm-hmm. So I just quietly returned the vehicle and came back with a plain colored SUV. Now, I wouldn't blame her. In Nigeria, or in that part of the world, the only times you get to see an ambulance is when it is carrying a coffin, or that's actually the wrong use. You use a hearse, to carry a coffin or a corpse. But when ambulances have been notably used, over and over for carrying corpses, then it's been, after a while, you tend to associate the picture of an ambulance to a corpse. So that was what happened that day, that I had to, quietly replace the vehicle and come back. So business-wise, on validation, that business was already had a lot of resistance in the beginning. So right now, what we're looking towards is, if you had to start any business for anything that you have to do, please run your feasibility and run your validation. Make sure that those two are intact and those two are on point and those two have the need outlined. Once you have the need outlined and you channel your solution or you channel yourself or you channel the services that you're offering or the products towards being the solution to that problem, then you're on your way to becoming the next big thing in your environment. So those are little things that we're also looking at this time around, and how to sell yourself. So in a couple of days, we're going to be bringing out different other modules, that will be talking on sales strategies. There are so many strategies that you can engage. We'll be discussing a lot of personal stories on free modules. But when you're ready, you can join the class. There are other paid classes that would teach you, that comes with certificates, and it comes with hand holding, so that way we'll walk you through how we've done it, how others have done it, and from experience of others that have done it in developed countries, we can replicate that in your surrounding or in your environment. So one question I would still want to pick and throw to Mr. Emeka is, how have you been starting your write-ups? How have you been starting your stories? You want to write a story about about a product, you want it to show impact. How have you been starting your stories? What I need you to say one or two things, so that people can get to learn on starting your stories. I can add to that.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Now, to begin to write a story, it's not that simple, but then one has to look at the basics, which begins with looking, to see what you have, and starting from there. Let's say you could just look at your surrounding and, wanting to write, you can write about what you see, starting with a sentence, say a word to describe what you see. Then from writing a word, you write a sentence and start seeing, as you see things, you just write it in that aspect. But now, again, let's say if you want to write about poetry, that's what I do. I write poems. Specifically, I write poems. It's, for me, I'm a nature poet, and I've got to listen to nature in my own way, which some people find they find it as a way that seems crazy. I could be talking to the moon in the midnight. It's that crazy. I could be talking to the tree in the daytime. It's so crazy. And the breeze was speaking to me. I'll be smiling at, the song just to get ideas. Now, okay, I now look at the situation we are facing in the world. I want to write about it. It could be racism. It could be on this COVID-19, and ways to balance things in the universe. I visualize myself as a god. How will I place things in the way it should be if I am to be the control of the universe? So, I see myself in this, like with sort of power. So, right to use words that connotes authority in writing, so it flows. We have to, as a poet, we write with our feelings, how we feel most times, and to use the right words requires to go look for the rules and books which will advance your grammar, to ensure you use the literal devices, needed for writing. That's it.
Okay. I would like to share. I'd like to share a few things. I'd like to share a few things with the public. I don't know if you can get to see my screen. Okay. I'd like to share a few things with the can you see my screen right now? See my screen? Okay.
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, good. So, in consulting, there are preparatory activities that you need to think about. It's not rocket science. It's not 100-meter dash. Requires thoughtful preparations. Require focus, determination. Requires great skills. Now look at this presentation, and let me stop this and bring up another one, so you get to compare. Let me bring up another one. Okay. Let me bring up another. Okay. Let me now see the same slide, but this is now my beginning now, and then the same slide. See my opening thought. This is now my beginning. See my opening thought, and then on something abstract. See my opening. People would rather go for something that seems to connect with them. Abstract. Oh, what is this at the background? Is it a desert? People would. Is it absolutely, it shows consulting is wide. It's like a blue ocean. So you can put in desert, you can put in an ocean, you can put in, it depends. It depends on what is in the mind of the reader. What do you see? For some people, when they see the ocean, what comes to their mind is vacation, for some people, boats, jet skis, exactly, beaches, holiday. For some people, they see shark, whale. Wow, I don't know if there's a megalodon, or yeah, I've watched one movie, this, that, and then this, that. So what comes to your mind when you think about consulting, or when you think about selling intellectual property? It's wide. So you need to draw from experience of other players to prepare your own roadmap. So it's also good to have a mentor. Success can be replicated. So once you can have a mentor, you'll be able to have someone to account to. Accountability is something that is key, that is very important in consulting. So on your moment of decisions, you need to decide. You can see there's a clash of ideas, a clash of array. There'll be times that where you are living and the reality of and what you are professing and what you are saying, everything is like, like one tsunami. So you need to make up your mind, put your thoughts together, and begin. You need to be confident. You need to invoke passion. You need to be determined and focus in your plan. You need to believe in yourself. If you can't believe in yourself to actually run it, then yeah, it's not worth it. So you need to be able to think positively and never see failure as a setback. People fail at little things, people fail at big things. But when you fail, you get up and then you continue moving. You have to make up your mind to make success a minimum. So if you have a goal that you're working towards and there is no plan, then it's just a dream, then it's just a wish. So you need to document your plan and make sure that it's realistic or that it's smarter. You know, many people talk about smart goals. You know, it must be specific, measurable, actionable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. You should add ER, you know, it must be evaluatable and it must be reviewable. So at different points in time, you should go back to that map. Is this where I'm meant to be at this moment? Is this what I'm meant to be doing at this time? You know, location right now, location is virtual. If you can't locate your services and put it on the virtual space, then you'll still keep hamming and hawing. You know, like this video, this book, Who Moved My Cheese? Okay, you need to be able to and ready to scale and your entry strategy. And we talked about the market. That's your blue ocean. So you need to also be able to build a strong knowledge base in your area. If you can't ascertain that you are an authority in what you're trying to talk to me about, it will be a bit difficult for me to sit down to listen to you. So you need to develop your mental capital to develop your intellectual property because it's your property. You need to harness it. You need to refine that gold. Gold being sold in its original state is it's not really too appealing. It looks dirty. It's smelling. It's nothing that you would like to associate yourself with. But when it's refined, when it has been tested, when it has been validated, when you pass it through fire, when you now try to sieve out all the dirt and unwanted things around, then what you're left with is that bright, shiny element that people desire to use to make bangles and neck chains and rings and name it. So you need to obtain the necessary and relevant skill as well as competencies. So develop a mini library for that competence. You can have your mini library in your computer. You can have it in your phone. You can have it as books, and make sure that once in a while, from time to time, you you go through and refresh your memory. So step 5, you need to be able to stand on someone's shoulder to soar. There are certain things that people would experience would be able to tell you that if they don't tell you, or if you don't get to learn it, you will make the same mistakes that they made. So it doesn't hurt for you to go for some internship or some mentoring program with an experienced player if you can. Don't look at the cost or the energy required. Yours is, oh, get to get this, it will cost me this X amount of money, you know, is the best and primary information source for you to take off, you know, and succeed eventually in consulting. So step 6, you make sure that you leave ready. Don't get ready. Obtain the requisite certification and statutory registration. Once you have initial income or you're getting some small change from your as you start up. So don't wait until until you get some big hit or something before you protect or give relevance to things like tax clearances or registration with your idea. Now, on step 7, test the waters. Just start. Gather requisite data on the major players, get to understand the market contents, your entry strategy, your penetration strategy, consolidation. You know, I tell people a lot, when you volunteer to join any organization, you have open doors, and then you get to have a lot of capital, social capital that cash will not buy. So you want to work in UN, or you want to work in, why not volunteer and be a UN volunteer, you know, and get to do certain, get to provide results, or get to showcase what you can do, you know, yourself, get to market yourself. It will really help you a lot. Many people are looking for jobs, but they don't want to work. So I don't understand how they intend to get results for not wanting to work. It doesn't work. Things don't work that way. So get to understand the business and industry analysis for what you're trying to bring to the table. It will really do you a lot of good. Now, on step 8, internalize, adopt, and adapt the market to what you're doing. Use these contents to develop, because that's what you're going to need to develop concise and elaborate business plan, or a bankable proposal for your business. Once you have it and it's able to convince an investor or convince a venture capitalist, then you're on your way to securing some external funding for your idea or your business. So in step 9, start. Just start anywhere, yeah, your ecosystem, your organization, your village meeting, your religious place, anywhere. Just interpret the business plan. There is market. Market. There's market everywhere you go.
Market.
Now, yeah. Now, on the resources that you need, you know, you need an address, whether it's virtual or physical. You need to register it. You need certain business cards, whether it's virtual, also e-business cards or paper. You need public relations, marketing tools. You need um, a laptop or a computer or a phone, you know, something to project. Nowadays, the e-projection, you know, via Zoom, via some live streaming portal. You need something to print, you know, once in a while you need to print, you need something to print and scan, and then office space, whether virtual also or physical, if you can afford it. So once you are set with all that, your entry strategy can begin with free lectures and presentations. What you're hearing right now, what you're listening to right now, is a free presentation, is a free lecture. You're not paying anything for it. But well, what I would ask, I'll still ask about it, ask for it at the end of the presentation, is that you get to do 5 things for me. You get to like this video if you watch that and it has added value to you. Get to like it and get to write something about it. You know, get to write a comment. Get to hit the notification bell, and now get to you can share it to your friends. Please share it to someone else, and you know, you can do that, share to your church or some social group that you belong to. You can get to do all this and get to let them access this free training. Now, you can also get to do free lectures and presentations to other small business ventures or people that you know about that would need it. You know, remember, your intellectual property is meant to serve. Whatever you're talking about is meant to serve as a solution to someone else's problem, or to a global problem, or to a problem. You know, so um, you can also start with the soft skills, relevant soft skills. People see soft skills as childish, as vague, but they're very important. So things like business communication, relationship management, personal effectiveness, you know, you may not find schools that will teach this thing, but it's good that we start to see that they are very relevant, you know, effective time or energy management. Um, there's nothing like African time where you constantly have to now make yourself late for a meeting, or make yourself deliberately late for an appointment. You know, so but once you can, you know, things like customer care or customer service, personal finance, profit management, marketing, stress management, conflict resolution, organizational efficiency. You get to always drive towards result management, result-based management, and apply it to your daily living. It would really make you very relevant, whether at your workplace or in your business. So get to start with the soft skills, and you can also pass that. Once you've learned those soft skills, you can pass that to the public as one of your freebies, and they get to understand where you're coming from and how you're adding value to their businesses. You can prepare your slides. You have a computer, prepare your slides. You can do it on your phone, and you can share your vision with those around you. You can ask for referrals, ask for support, but beware of the dirty dozen. Those dirty, like you have certain people that we categorize as dirty dozen on the dirty, where they just listen and they're like hawks, or they tend to discourage you or then to wash you down. Just move politely to the next person and share. You'll get one or two people that would support you, and those are the people you need. So be positive about your vision no matter the opposition. Positive thinking usually will lead to a positive action, will lead to positive habits, and will eventually get you positive results. So you keep moving. Success favors people who move. So get ready to fall, get ready to fail. It's a normal thing. It's expected. If you're starting up, as a child, a growing child, at one time or the other would fall, and will get up almost instantly. So be sure you will get up and get going. The bend in the road is not the end of the road. So if you cannot soar, fly. If you cannot fly, run. If you cannot run, walk. If you cannot walk, crawl. Just keep moving. Okay, so that's what I'm sharing today, and I hope you've learned one or two things from this 1 hour talk. We intend to end in 8 minutes. So like I said earlier, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. It will really encourage and get shared to certain people around you, get them to understand and see and get the value in the training that we're putting together. And you get to, because when you subscribe, you get notifications of other value-laden videos that we're going to be putting together in this times and season. And we hope we've been able to add value to you. And Mr. Emeka, you have words over to you. We have 7 more minutes.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, we've shared real-time value, which out there seems, premium, of quite, expensive. But then this is really something one needs in this time we are faced in. This value, in terms like this, can keep one to go, and do some changes that one needs to do. Because everything about life is branding, marketing oneself in all spheres of, could be life business or life activity. So thank you very much. So
please don't just stay and listen and don't act. It's people that act, people that, life is like a football pitch where you have the players, the commentators, and the spectators. The people that really make the money are the players. The people that act, the people that are playing the game, people that are taking the initiative to do, the doers. Don't just be an onlooker. Do. Take a pen and paper, write, fine, that's cool. But make sure you act. Make sure you work towards running your power pitch or your elevator pitch. Make sure you work towards running your cover letter if you want to get a job or you want to get some other better offer somewhere else. Make sure you modify your your cover letters as soon as possible. Make sure you think about and go over the different ways you can market your idea or your product or your service or your intellectual property, how you can market it, how you can push it to the public. And then make sure you just go ahead and start. I wish you all the best. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me or contact, my number is +431 554 0052 +1 431 554 0052. And I'm reachable on jobidel10@gmail.com. You can check out my website, www.jobidel.com. It's you'll get a lot of things that will be of value that I believe will be able to help you and get you to your next level or get you to doing your next step. And so please, as I said earlier, make sure you click the like button, make sure you write a comment, make sure you subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit the notification bell, and then please share to everybody around you. I believe that this will do you a lot of good. So from Emeka.
All right.
Yeah. So goodbye and God bless you real good. Bye for now. Yeah.
Bye. Bye.